What's going on, everybody? This is Super Robot Ed, and today we have in front of you the Age of the Primes Titan class Trypticon. Now, I've had to do this in the house today because, I've had wildlife are trying to live, and I prefer to let the wildlife do their thing. So we'll be very careful with this video because I don't normally like filming in this environment, but we got to do the best we can. So now we're at desktop 2.2. Let's get a little bit more light here. So as you can see here, we have the Age of the Primes Trypticon in his, what we call the base mode. And so we're going to look at a few of the details here. Please be in mind how we're working this right now. Now, as you can see here, I have the Constructicons here. So I'm not going to do too much of angling and holding because, like I said before, I'm using a special setup. I just don't want to use the audio from my cell phone. So anyway, this is a very interesting setup. Normally, I would never set up like this. But because of the fact that this is so huge, I'm going to go over a few of the details as best as I can, and we'll take it from there. So we're just going to back it up real quick. So as you can see here, and I do have the Constructicons there. Because I don't have a lot of toys out right now, because I do plan on trying to relax this Sunday, you can see here all of the details. Very animation accurate. I know a lot of people are saying, well, where are the stickers? Well, I didn't have any in the original. You look at the animation. This is animation color accurate. I think I got something wrong here. Let me set my camera down. Now, why am I not so much in frame is because, again, I'm holding my... Normally, this mic would be on the hot shoe, but the hot shoe is being used by a flash cube that I didn't even know I had. But I have one, and it does help a little bit, but we're going to try to just show off some of the details. And, Fill Tilt can just roll down. And the surface is very smooth, but I don't want him to roll onto the floor. If you know what I mean, we'll see Full Tilt again, of course, showing off his robot mode. As you can see here, you can put your little Stunticon vehicles here. Let's get some other vehicles. We'll be back in 2 and 2. All right, we're back by YouTube Magic, and we just wanted to show off some of the, like the mini vehicles. I don't have any like Legends figures or really anything smaller on deck. Like I say, as you can see here, I mean, when they roll, you see it's very slippery. So it's like kind of like friction once it, see. It comes, it's gonna roll. I had to catch it. I'm not gonna drop my toy. But I mean, it looks nice. I mean, it looks very nice. I'm impressed with it. The next thing we're gonna do, is to go ahead and get him into his vehicle flying station, and then after that, we'll get him into his kaiju mode, and then we'll wrap up as always 2 and 2. All right, we're back by YouTube Magic. We now have Trypticon in his vehicle mode, or better yet, flying fortress mode. And as you can see here, the cannons, they do that. And you can see there, Full Tilt still rolls down, but he's going to kind of get stuck here. The surface is very smooth. That's why everything is able to roll. Once you collapse the legs down and put everything here, this is where and how the base mode will look. And it's pretty mobile, and you can see it here from the side. And just let me make sure I have everything in focus. And we're going to see everything from the other side here. And then we're going to turn it back to the back real quick. As you can see there, so we have everything in center frame. Now, what's cool about this is, and I have to put this down for a second, if you don't mind my audio. And sorry about that. We're going to show off Phil Tilt's Headmaster mode right now. Let's get him in focus. So you can see it there. And that's basically what he does. And basically what you're going to do is you're going to fold him up just like you would any other headmaster to go into the body there. And basically you're just gonna put that in there like that. See if I got it right. Once you put them in, this pops open, as you can see there. Let's get a close-up of that so you can see what I mean. And there we go. There. Let's get a little bit closer. And when you put the headmaster in, basically that is the Titan gimmick, and that is pretty cool. So what we're going to do now next is we're going to put him into the kaiju mode. But before we do that, we're going to show off Full Tilt, and then we'll wrap this up. 2 more and 2 more. All right, we're back by YouTube Magic, and we have Full Tilt in his vehicle mode, as you can see it here. Big, nice purple vehicle. Now, the difference between this one is a lighter purple, and the rims are painted, which I'm not going to lie, that is a plus. It does have the little gun on top. Now, when you want to put the headmaster in, you're going to see the mic because I have to hold it because I don't have a Bluetooth mic yet. You would just basically stick him inside. And he just fits inside just like any of the other headmasters. And you close it down. And he rolls. Looks pretty good. And we'll do some comparisons here. Like I said, he's probably about the size of a basic now, you know, mini bot. Because mini bots are a little larger than what they were in the other lines. So here you go. There's just a quick size comparison. Then we'll pause, get him into robot mode, and then we're going to show off the kaiju mode for Trypticon. All right, we have Full Tilt in his robot mode, and we're just going to show him off really quick. And we're just going to go ahead and go with articulation. Please bear with me one moment here. My position is mic. All right, so I think we got a good position there. Let's go over a few things here. Now, before he continues, since he is a headmaster, let's just pop the head off so we can get a quick look at the head. I'm not going to lie, the head looks pretty dang going good. As you can see there. Nice materials, nice everything. You can see that. Let's put it back on. Now he's the old school Titan return figures. So head just does that because of the fact that it is a headmaster. The arm does do a 360. No, does have an elbow rotation due to the transformation. The leg goes out to here, leg goes back to here, no feet swivel, and nothing back there. Goes all the way there. No waist swivel. There's the little gun, and there he is in his robot mode. And he's basically the size of any standard deluxe or fake deluxe, which is about 5 inches tall. Don't let nobody tell you anything else. That's their height. About 5 inches tall. So there we go. We sewn him off. Now we're going to do the kaiju on deck. And after that, we're going to do comparisons. And as always, we'll be back in the last of 2 and 2s. All right, we're back by YouTube Magic. The audio may sound a little weird because now I have everything set up. But we do have Trypticon in his robot mode. And so basically, we're just going to look at a few things here. I'm going to turn him to the front and push him back just a little bit so you could see it here. And let me just pull back my camera and get center frame. There we go. And as you can see, the head does go up and down. Make sure we got ourselves in focus there. And the head does rotate 360 as well because that's part of the transformation. And the guns do extend there, as you can see that as well. So you can have another look at that. It does extend. And of course, he does have the rotating claws. You don't necessarily rotate, but he do open up. Does have a little bit of an angle there. They can go up to there as far as that can go. Leg can go back as far as you want it to go. And yes, he does have feet swivel. And yes, as confirmed by Evan Brooks, the leg issue is fixed. So no worries, no taking apart and no surgeries there. Let's get him situated. As you can see there, he looks very nice. Now we're going to compare him with a couple of Titans, and then we're going to wrap everything up. And of course, we'll be back in the last of 2 and 2. Let's get him in frame. Get him in frame. All right, we're back by YouTube Magic, and here is the Titans Return, or Age of the Primes Trypticon, next to one of my favorite Unite Warrior figures. It's actually kind of hard to get, and that was Defensor. And plus, they're also in the commercial. Be a little bonus thing for everyone to figure out. 2 more size comparisons, and we're rolling out of here. All right, we're back by YouTube Magic, and basically we have him next to the Power of the Primes Trypticon, which, guilty pleasure, is still one of my favorite combiners. I know some people, he's too big, but being that I like him, sort of my take of him being an answer to the Dinobots, this was, to me, a worthy comparison. Now for one more. And last, we have him standing next to the current line of Titan class figures. This is Earthrise Scorponok, which is our current modern class figures. And believe it or not, Trypticon has a lot of those attributes, missing a few, but the fact that, he doesn't really need a waist swivel, but just the fact that he has the feet tilt back when this was technically still in the era where we didn't get that, does make it a plus. And, for a few things, his chest does have a storage cavity, and there's also a storage cavity on the tail, but I didn't really show those off because I don't really not going to use them. So we're going to go ahead and wrap it up, and we're going to be back with the final results in 2 and 2. All right. Should you pick up this Trypticon? And absolutely, positively, yes. And I'll explain why. So if you're looking to get a Trypticon, which Trypticon should you get? Obviously, let me just be honest with you. You probably want to get this one. Why? Well, it's animation accurate. This is G1 animation accurate. I mean, look at this thing, man. Look at this thing, man. I mean, you can't tell me that this isn't a very impressive looking figure. It held the test of time. It had all of the attributes for a toy to have, pretty much, may I put it, close to modern articulation. The coloration is right. There's no issue with the legs. Everything is as it should be. It's a great looking figure, a worthy purchase. I think if you don't have Trypticon, this is the one you want to get overall. Now, some people are saying that he's sparse on the details, but truthfully, if you look at the G1 toy, and as well as look at the animation, which they don't use a lot of those stickers and things that you see on the toy, this just looks better. I mean, overall, this just looks better. So in my opinion, you should pick this up without question. Now, I don't know what's going on. Some people have told me I'm crazy. Amazon had this thing listed for $100 more, and it wasn't a scalper. I got lucky and went to Best Buy. That's right, Best Buy. Got him. Happy. Still trying to get my hands on Silverbolt, but not really going to worry about that right now. I'm just going to tell you guys, this is worth the money. Well, okay, let's back up on the money. It's $200 for a toy that was half that price, maybe. It was as low as 60 something dollars. It still feels like Titans Return plastic, but the new coat of paint, I guess, inflation, this is where we are. Do I think it's right? No, I don't, but I paid the $200 for it. So let that sink in. All right. Well, this is all I got. I think it's fantastic. This is the first Trypticon I've ever gotten in my life. Never had a G1 Trypticon. So having this Trypticon and actually having it in the correct colors is really what gets me going. So I'm happy. I don't really care if you're happy or not, because I'm happy I got this figure. So what are your thoughts? Leave them down in the comments below. This is Super Robot Ed, bringing more news reveals, and then we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.